Hi, good evening and good afternoon to all of you guys again. And thank you, Ms. Terry. Thank you, Mr. Craig, for joining us again. So everyone here again, we are with our fresh faculty webinar month. And today with us is INTI University from Malaysia. And then we will be having Ms. Terry with us from American University program. She's the program manager. And we will be having Mr. Craig. He's the manager in international sales. And you guys all know me that, yes, this is I would be the moderating and I will be going through all of this session. And my name is Abrar. And okay, so let me just tell you about INTI International University briefly. INTI International University is one of the, I would say, a very high reputed university in Malaysia. It has been in the industry for past 35 years, and it has various programs up to like 70 to 80 programs in all of the faculties, from business, from computing to health science, and then engineering and postgraduate. So today we will be more focusing on American University program, as we all know that America has been the dream country for all of you guys down there, especially the students and the students who wants to grow their career in, the most powerful or the most technological country in the world. So Ms. Terry will be sharing a few knowledge about the program, how you can transfer to US after your 2 years of education in Malaysia, and about the ranking and about the scholarships and so on. And so I won't take much time, and then please, Miss Cherry, it's over to you.
All right, thank you so much. Let me start by sharing my screen. Okay. Can you all see? Yes?
Yes.
All right, great. All right. So, hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Terry. Yeah, I'm actually the head of the American Degree Transfer Program. So, it's a pleasure today to be able to have the opportunity to talk to you, to share with you about studying in America. Okay. So, all right, America or the US is actually the first choice for students from all over the world, yes? And there are currently about 1.1 million. It used to be 1.5, but because of the COVID pandemic, quite a number of international students decided to go back to their home country and do the online studies. So currently there's still 1.1 million international students residing in the US, and that actually makes the US the country with the highest number of international students. Okay. All right, so we talk about 1.1 million students in the US. Of course, the next question would be, why? Why study in America? What's so special about America? Okay, I always love to share these 5 simple facts. Yeah. So in America, educational diversity is something that a lot of people embrace. There are altogether 4,000 universities to actually cater for individual needs. Yeah, so some students might like a big university, big state university. Some might like small, what I call it, private school and so forth. So it's entirely up to the students, their preference, which university that they end up transferring to. There are over 500 majors, and I'll talk a little bit more about the majors later on. There are a wide variety of fees. Remember, there are 4,000 schools, so it means that the fees could be very affordable or it could be super expensive. Yeah, and of course, the flexibility of studies. US education is always 4 years. However, the more subjects you take each semester, students will actually finish the whole entire degree earlier than the 4 years. Okay, so educational diversity. The next advantage or reasons people like US is because of their education system. They stress a lot on something called holistic education. So for instance, student who wanted to major, say, in engineering, right? So you don't only study about engineering, okay? You don't. You learn about psychology, you learn about critical thinking, you learn about American history, you learn about a lot of other fields that are outside of your core or your major. Yeah, we call that general education. And some students might ask me, but Miss, I don't want to do this. I just want to learn engineering. And I always share with them that, general education will actually help you in the long run. You might not see it now as a student, you might not see it, but when you go out to work, it will come in really, really handy. Yeah, general education will come in handy because why? You don't just interact with people from your own background or the own education system, but you'll be interacting with people from all over the world, various education system, various knowledge from, so you have the advantage of being able to interact better with them, yeah, and work better with them. Now, the US education system is not very exam-based. So students who don't quite like exam, I think this is the right program for you. The reason I'm saying that is because only 30% are actually from final exam. The other 70% are something we call continuous assessment. So continuous assessment covers your class, your participation, your presentation, your quizzes, and so forth. All right, so that will be 70%. Even before you go for your final exam, you already have completed 70 of the 100% needed for you to get the grades. Yeah, so a lot of students has actually found it to be really, really, it is really good in the sense that it allows them to explore, allows them to be able to function to the best of their abilities and don't have to be worried about too much about exams. Yeah. Okay. We talk about US university and we talk about world best schools, right? So from the Times Higher Education Supplement 2021, out of the top 15 universities, 11 are actually American university or American institutions. So that actually constitutes about 73%. Yeah. And another strong reason students love to go to the US is because of the research opportunity. Now, those of you who are looking at biosciences, health sciences, genetics, and so forth, the US would be a fantastic place for you to be. Because why? They stress a lot on research. So students, even though they're doing their undergraduate, that means their bachelor's degree, they already have the opportunity to be heavily involved in research. They don't have to wait until they do their master's or they do their PhD and whatnot, okay? From your undergraduate, your bachelor's, you can actually do some form of research or some kind of research with your professors and so forth, right? US actually, what they call allocate, they actually allocate or they budgeted not thousand, not million, but billions of dollars each year just for the sake of research. And this data, I got it from the Federal Research and Development Fund. So a lot of universities, they actually got fundings. It could be fundings from the government, fundings from the state, their own state government, fundings from big companies, Fortune 500 companies. Like for instance, University of Wichita State University, they got fundings from NASA to actually run their aeronautical engineering research. So there are a lot of opportunities for students in America. Another strong point of why US is no pre-university required. That means you don't have to worry about doing your foundation, your matriculation or anything like that. From high school itself, you can actually go into the program, all right? Okay, remember I talked about 500 majors, so you can basically do anything under the sun. It could be from natural science, it could be aeronautical engineering, you do chemical, you do environmental science or environmental engineering, forensic psychology, communication, business, anything that you want. Okay, some students say, "This I want to do animal science." Is it possible? Absolutely, you can do animal science as well. So as I mentioned, any major that you want, most likely the American university will have it. Okay, we talk about the US. Now I'm going to highlight why INTI, why you should come to INTI and do the American program. We have actually been offering this program for 34 years, 30 odd years. We are actually the pioneer, okay, and the leader in quality American education in Malaysia. We started the American program together with the Malaysian government institution called MARA. So MARA and INTI actually started the American program in Malaysia, and we are still standing strong. okay? And with the track record that we have established extensive credit traceability, okay, to top university in America, not only in the US, in Canada as well. So quite a number of our students have gone to top schools. They even have gone to Ivy League. Some of them have gone to Ivy Leagues as well, even though it's super, super hard to get into those schools. Yeah. We have sent over 17,000 students abroad, yeah, with our long running program. And we are also the institution with the largest number of students, okay, doing the American program. We also have what do you call it, a large amount of scholarship. I will touch on scholarship in a short while. I'm sure a lot of you will be interested to know what kind of scholarship that you can actually secure, okay, when you actually go abroad, yeah. We have dedicated staff. In my office alone, for the American program, all of us are American grad, so we can actually share with you, okay, we can share with you on how studying in the US is like, what are the things you need to know, what are the things you need to prepare, any culture shock, and most importantly, right, which university you should consider, right? We are also very strong. We offer also a lot of courses, okay, various courses from business, engineering, psychology, and so forth that you can actually complete in INTI before you actually transfer abroad, all right? Okay. Now, the American program, we fondly call the American degree program AUP, you know, American University Program, yeah? AUP actually gives you the flexibility to explore. It gives you time and time to actually explore the right major, yeah, and to decide where you wanted to go. Because remember, I talked about 4,000 schools, yeah, and 500 majors. So students, a lot of times, once you have graduated, you are thinking of, oh, you know what? I think I want to do engineering. Or no, maybe I want to do business. Maybe I want to do both. Would it be possible? So as long as you have some idea what you wanted to do, come into the program, okay? Join us at INTI and do the American program. If you're not sure, don't worry, you don't have to declare a specific major. Just let us know whether it's arts related or it's science related. And when you join INTI, what we will do is we will guide you, okay, from day one until you are ready to leave for the US, okay? So we can help you with selection of subjects, majors, minors, the university. And some students might ask me, you know, how does it work? If I'm not sure about a major, will I be wasting my time and money if I just take courses? The answer is no. Remember, we talk about the flexibility and the general education that students can do. So you can actually do that, okay, while you explore and decide which is the right major and the right university for you, okay? So whatever your decision is, we are there, yeah, to help you and to guide you through. Okay, we talked about study in America, and the next, next information or next thing that I want to share with you is whether you can afford or students can afford to go to the US. Money is always a main concern for a lot of people, okay? They have a dream, they hope to achieve it, but the question that they always ask themselves, or the parents ask them, can we afford? Can we afford an American education? The answer is, I would say yes, if you have already allocated some funds, okay? Because of 4,000 school, the fees varies. The lowest actually starts from about 22,000 USD a year. Now the 22,000 USD a year actually covers everything that you need. Mainly your tuition, that means your school fees, your food and lodging, which means that your hostel, your meal plans, yeah, in the university. It covers your books. It covers your insurance. It's super important to have insurance in America. You can't do anything without insurance. You can't even get your glasses if you don't have insurance, okay? So the 22,000 actually covers everything that is important that you need, yeah? So you can actually consider US as an option for you to further your education. All right, the pathway via INTI. Now, I talk about 4-year degree, right? The whole degree is actually 4 years. So upon completion of your high school, you don't have to do PU, no need to do like A levels or foundation or anything like that. You can go straight into the first year of the American degree. You can choose to study a year in INTI, 3 years in the US, you can do 2 years in INTI, 2 years in the US. And for selected majors and selected university, you can even do up to 3 years. Okay, but for international students, you have to be aware that you need to plan it well in order to do 3 years because of a visas restriction. Okay, but let's say if you have this kind of plan, come talk to us. We will help you plan and see whether it's possible for you to achieve that. Okay, so remember, 1 year. Majority of students will do 2 years at INTI and 2 years in the US. Yeah. Okay, the entry requirement, as I mentioned earlier, right from high school, once you completed your high, what do you call it, either your high school diploma, or some of you might have done O levels or IGCSE. As long as you complete your high school, you can actually apply to be admitted to INTI American degree program. We normally have 3 intakes in a year. We have the January, the May, and the August intake. But from time to time, we might have some additional intakes. You can always check with us if you're looking at coming in outside of the 3 main intakes. Okay, all right. A lot of students are waiting for these scholarships from the US. Can you actually secure scholarship? The answer is yes. Some students asked me before, Miss, is this scholarship only for Malaysians? And the answer is no, it's for all INTI students. Yeah, all INTI students studying the American degree program. They don't care what nationality you are. Okay, as long as you're from INTI doing the American degree program, you will be able to secure some form of scholarship. Now, the scholarships that we have for students, they're actually a long list of scholarship opportunities. So I'm highlighting a few. Number one is the guaranteed scholarship. So INTI students, if you choose to go to our partner school that gives guaranteed scholarship, let me name one, University of Central Oklahoma. All right. Now, University of Central Oklahoma, or UCO as we call them, UCO will, let's say you apply to go you apply to go to UCO, and as long as they admit you, you automatically get that scholarship, right? So you don't have to worry, oh, my result has to be all A's, or my result has to be a mixture of A and B's, in order to secure the guaranteed scholarship from UCO. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. As long as you're admitted, you will get it. We also have partner scholarship. Partner scholarships are the university that reserve certain number of scholarship for our students. Like for instance, Iowa State, they reserved about 8 to 10 scholarship a year for us, for our students rather. And we also have University of Nebraska-Lincoln, okay, that offers all students, all admitted students, similar to UCO, partner scholarships. But the difference with UNL is that you must meet their fixed CGPA. So if your CGPA is not 3.0 and above, you won't get any fundings. Whereas UCO, as long as you're admitted, it could be 2.5, it could be 2.75, it could be 4.0, you will get the same scholarship. All right. And then there are also something called in-state tuition. In America, if you are, they work differently, okay, differently from the rest of the world. Americans themselves, okay, let's say they're from Americans or from California and they wanted to go and study in Texas, yeah? The Californians will have to pay more compared to the Texan. The reason is because why? They are not from Texas. Vice versa, Texan who wanted to go and study in California, who want to go and study in Florida, they have to pay more because why? They are not from that state. So as an international students, wherever we go in the US, we have to pay more. So if students who wanted to be able to, I would say, find a cost-effective university that will help them, budget better, then they should actually choose a university that offers in-state. In-state means that you as international students are paying the same amount or lesser amount than other international students are paying across the other states or other university in America, right? So you are paying, in short, you are paying just like an American students. Okay, that's called in-state tuition. Merit scholarship means that they look at your grades. Your grades are good, they give you some form of scholarship. All right, if your grades just so, although they admit you, there will be no scholarship. Okay. Another one would be ambassador scholarship. Ambassador scholarship is basically the university recruiting student as the ambassador. They will recruit you and you are actually working for them, right? And ambassador scholarship worth quite a bit actually. University of Kentucky, for instance, offer 10,000 USD a year, okay, for students to work as an ambassador. And these all these particular scholarship that I mentioned, they are all renewable. That means that every year you can renew that scholarship. Okay? So as I mentioned, there are a whole lot more. INTI students, if they are actually a thick folder of information, okay, on various universities and various scholarships that they offer. Okay, so students can actually do their research. All right, I talked about the US. Now I'm gonna touch a little bit on Canada. Some students say, no, I'm not going to go to the US. Why? Because I prefer Canada. Can I do that? Absolutely. So students can choose to go to Canada. Canada, they don't, although it's a big, huge country, as you know, it's not as populated as America. Therefore, they don't have that many university or institution. We are actually partnered with about 11, including top schools like Waterloo and Alberta. Right, but having said that, we have 11 partners. Students, American program students can actually transfer to any Canadian institution as long as they meet the requirement. Right, and we have all the guidelines. You can check with the advisors, and we will guide you accordingly. Fees ranges from about 24,000 Canadian dollars to about 50,000 Canadian dollars. Yeah, so if you're looking at Canada, I have to tell you that you need to prepare. Okay, or you need to budget more if you are looking at not going to America, but to Canada instead. The reason is because in the US, it's very common for students to do 2 years at INTI and 2 years in America, but for Canada, majority will only do a year, right? Majority will do a year. The most that you can stay will be a year and a half. The reason is Canada is a little bit stricter. It's a little bit stricter in terms of transfer credits. So students who are aiming to go to Canada, you must make sure that financially you have enough to cover the entire duration that you're going to be there. All right. Now, the good thing about Canada is there are 3 years optional practical training. Okay. Now, OPT means that students graduated and then they can actually stay back in the country to work. In the US, you can do that as well. However, for students in America, they can usually do about a year of OPT only. That means 1 year OPT, unless you are majoring in science, technology, engineering, and math. Students understand they have the opportunity to extend their OPT in the US up to 3 years. However, in Canada, you don't have to worry about that, right? Even business major, psychology major, communication major, you can stay up to 3 years and do your practical training after graduation, as long as you stay in Canada for that duration. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you stay in Canada for 2 years, you will get a 2 years OPT. If you stay in Canada 3 years, you will get 3 years OPT. Right? So that's how it works in Canada. It's a little bit different. Some students say, I would like to go to Australia and the UK. I'm not going to go to the US, nor am I going to go to Canada. Is that possible? The answer is, of course, yes. We have sent quite a number, okay, of students to Australia and to the UK the past couple of years. The reasons that students choose to go to Australia and the UK is because they feel that their program is a little bit more structured. So, you know, different students, they have different preference, okay? And us, as the advisor, we respect the students' choices and we will guide them and assist them accordingly. Now, in order for students to go to Australia, to the UK, the rule is you have to complete at least 2 years. Now, in the US and in Canada, you can just stay a year at INTI and do 3 years, abroad. But UK, Australia, you must complete 2 years in order to be eligible to apply, all right, as a transfer to these two countries. Yeah? So that's something that I need to highlight so that you are aware and you will plan accordingly. Okay. All right. So I talk about going abroad, right? Students getting a degree overseas. Yeah. But I also have students who say that, an international students who say, coming to Malaysia is also going abroad already, and I don't want to go anywhere, but I would like an international degree. Is it possible at INTI? Yes, it is possible. You can actually earn an American degree without having to leave Malaysia. Okay, we have a partnership with Southern New Hampshire. Okay, Southern New Hampshire offers 3 majors: Bachelor of Science in Business Studies, Psychology, and Communication. All right, so you can choose to major in any of these 3 areas. You can also do a minor. Yeah, that means maybe major in business and then minor in psychology, or major in comm and minor in business. It's your preference. All right, so you can do that in INTI under the Southern New Hampshire. Southern New Hampshire 4+0 program also acts as a backup for the American degree transfer program student. When I say backup, right, what I mean is that sometimes, okay, you plan to go abroad, you plan to go overseas. However, things happen, things that are out of your control, it happens. So you can't get to transfer abroad. It could be financial constraint, it could be visas, So what will happen to the student? You can always fall back on the backup plan, which means that the American program students could always transfer to the Southern New Hampshire university program and complete their entire degree in Malaysia. So they still get an American degree, except that they do it in Malaysia. Okay, all right. So that's the backup plan. This is just a summary, okay, because I don't want to take too much of your time and give you too much information. Sometimes too much information is hard to actually digest, yeah? Okay, so I'm gonna open up for Q&A. Do you all have any question?
Ms. Terry, I think, thanks for your wonderful presentation. And I think it was really brief about American education and transfer to, let's say, Canada or America. So most of as what I said, most of them, they usually personal message us or WhatsApp us later on and ask for the questions. At this moment, they don't usually, say anything or write in the comment box or something. But I do have few questions on behalf of our students and parents, which we always face to ask. I mean, they ask us. Okay, one is this, that so as what you said, that the scholarship they can apply.
I'm sorry. What was the question
Can you hear
again?
me now?
Because
Sheikh, your line is breaking up.
yeah, it is breaking, so I can't hear clearly.
I'm sorry. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was asking is this: let's say once they transfer to US and any panel universities with INTI University, which you have mentioned, and the scholarship application for their progressing of their bachelor's, is it done by is it done by student themselves, or there is your department would assist them?
Okay, there are actually 2 types of university. Okay, one is when a student apply to the university, they are automatically considered for the scholarship. So what happens is, I say, me as a student, I put in my application to University A, and the University A will look at my application and says, okay, Terry is great. Yep, fantastic. Qualify for scholarship. I am going to award her that scholarship. Okay, so it's automatic. Yeah, it's automatic. You don't have to worry of putting in an additional application and things like that. University B, on the other hand, would need you to put in a separate application. You put in your application for admission for the program for a particular major, let's say business, and then you put in another application for scholarship. So the university will look at your application. Usually the application, for scholarship will need you to have what? Essays. They ask you to write essays. Some will put in their CVs as well, right, to strengthen their chances of securing scholarship. Right? So there's two types. For a lot of students, of course, they don't want to go through all this hassle of putting in application and things like that. So what they have to do is they just come and see the advisor and say, okay, miss, this is my budget, okay, but my parents want me to secure some scholarship as well. And we, on our part, we will advise them accordingly. It is actually not hard at all to get scholarship, to be honest, it's not hard. If you are not too picky in the sense of, I only want to go to top school. Of course, if you're going to go to the top ranked school, you can kiss any scholarship goodbye because they won't give you any funding unless you go there as a freshman. That means the full 4 years. As a transfer, they won't give you anything, right? But I always tell students, ranking is very, very subjective. The most important thing you want to look at a university, okay, when when you're trying to narrow down which one is the best one for you, would be their accreditation. Central Oklahoma, for instance, as I mentioned, the guaranteed scholarship that any INTI students who apply and got admitted will be given scholarship. Now, their business program has the same accreditation as Harvard Business School. Yeah, their engineering, which has the same accreditation as MIT. Okay, it's just that why they are smaller school, they are regionally ranked is because they don't have that many PhD program, right? A lot of these schools are teaching schools. That means they really teach you, right? Instead of they having their professors, not professors, they're having their teaching assistant teaching you while the professors are doing research. Yeah, unless you like schools like that. Okay, so there are various types of university or institution available, and students actually can select the best option for them, for themselves. And us as an advisor, we will guide them through. All right, we always sit down and review with them, which would be a better fit for you. What do you want to do? All right, what do you hope to achieve when you go to that institution? So that's something that we want students to think about, and then come to us, and we'll work it out for them or with them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks for the explanation. Mm-hmm. So let's say if you talk about the Oklahoma University, Southern Oklahoma, what is the if you talk about the percentage or the amount of scholarships, the guaranteed usually students get it?
Okay. All right. University of Central Oklahoma, the tuition after, or the total cost after the guaranteed scholarship, it's about $21,515. And that covers, as I mentioned earlier, everything that is important, okay, or necessary for the students, like tuition, hostel, food, insurance, books, and whatnot, all right? Everything is covered. So they pay about $21,500 a year, okay, in USD. That is for INTI students. If you're not from INTI, you will need to pay close to $28,000, okay, $28,000. So students actually save quite a bit already. And on top of that $21,500, they also give 35% discount for selected hostels. So that is another cost saving opportunity for students as well. Okay, so but UCO is just one of the university. We have a whole long list of institutions that gives really good scholarship for INTI students as well. Yeah.
All right, that's good to hear, and that's really great news to hear to everyone who is watching us and interested to study in US, that you can not only cover and make an affordable journey for your bachelor's by studying and paying in Malaysian ringgit, and while you can even get your scholarship and discounts while going for your 2 years of completion of your degree.
Yeah.
So this is very great news. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to add, the university, when they award scholarship for students, or to students, they will look at INTI results. They won't look at their high school. It's at INTI. They'll look at INTI results. So when student comes to INTI, we will guide them. We will provide all the necessary guidance. our lectures are all very experienced. We also have additional workshops sometimes to guide students, especially for math and sciences. We also have like peer tutorial programs for students if they need extra help, okay, to ensure that they do well and be able to transfer abroad and secure some form of financial aid. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So much of thanks to your faculty and yourself for giving this opportunity to all of the students. And the other question I want to ask, like, let's say the student is not going as a freshman to any of the US institution. So what do you think? Do they get like some type of shock or something? It's hard for them to adopt the in between going to the course compared to what they will be learning it from day one as a freshman.
All right, so I guess you're talking about culture shock, yeah, or whether they can adapt when they transfer, because
the education system, right?
because they did not
Exactly.
actually start their year one there. All right. The program, the American program at INTI, okay, we pattern closely after the American education system. Our syllabus are, it's actually very, very similar to the US universities. That is why a lot of institutions in America accept our credits. Yeah, they accept our credits, because if our syllabus is not similar, they would not. Okay, so we at INTI also we use Blackboard. Okay, Blackboard is an online learning portal, and a lot of institutions in America uses the same online learning portal, which is Blackboard. So our students actually, they are so used to using Blackboard in INTI. Once they transfer, they have no problem whatsoever. It's just like, oh, Blackboard, is it? Oh, I'm familiar. I know Blackboard really well. So it's not that. There will definitely be some level of culture shock, but not too much. In fact, many of my students feedback to me. They tell me that, Miss Terry, do you know that it's easier? It's easier to get A in the US as compared to INTI. So because our standard is quite high, and students have to make sure that you work really hard in order to secure really good grades. So once they go abroad, they realize that, oh, INTI actually prepares you well. So they don't really have much problem. That this is, of course, provided that the student works really, really hard, rather than, they are not serious. Okay, if they do their part here at INTI, they have no problem when they go abroad. Yeah, they can just actually fit in quite seamlessly.
So, all right, that's good to hear as well, that in this 2 years, INTI, adopt the student the same way of education and same way of curriculum, or all those what they would be studying back down there, they're all getting it here. So there is very less chances of any differences between what you would be studying in 2 years as a freshman in US or you are studying in INTI. So it's a good thing. This is what mostly we get this question, that how my son or my daughter will adapt suddenly if he or she is going to US, because obviously the faculty is different, everything is different. But with your explanation, I think I have a better answer to answer them. And all of you who are listening to us right now, you know that, yes, this is what exactly why you won't feel any differences when you transfer after your 2 years. I think that's pretty simple and pretty good, that all of the explanation you have given about the course and you have given about the fields, and you don't really have to be you don't have to finish your 12 year of studies. So while between your O levels or you have finished your IGCSE, you can straight away join American University program, and you can choose your fields like science, commerce, arts, or engineering, and then you can continue with that for your whole journey. And let's say if someone has, suddenly they change their plans and they don't want to continue the rest 2 years in US or Canada, can they go for your Southern New Hampshire University program? And if, let's say, they are in from that field of subject?
Okay. At INTI, because we don't only offer the American program, we offer a wide variety of options for our students. So American program students who could not, for some reason, transfer abroad, they could, of course, stay back at INTI and continue on with the Southern New Hampshire, provided they are business, communication, and psychology major. All right, so they can do the entire 4 years at INTI. However, for students who are majoring in the, for instance, in the applied sciences, computer science, biosciences, and so forth, they could actually transfer to our 3+0 program. Okay, like for instance, quite a number of my American program students who are majoring in computer science. For some, because of COVID, the parents says, I think, you know what, I don't want you to go. I want you to just finish locally. So they transferred to our Swinburne University of Technology 3+0 computer science, and they can do that. They will get some credit exemptions, and then they continue on in INTI and graduate with an Australian degree. So that's possible as well. Yeah.
So when you talk about credit exemptions, what type of, like, what is the duration of credit exemption you are looking for? Let's say they have studied 2 years. So how many years are approximation you think they have to study? Let's say if they are not continuing the American program, but rather than going for Australian or UK or any other program in other related field.
You're saying that, for instance, the American program students are doing sciences, is it? Let's say computer science,
yeah,
and then they wanted
computer science. Yeah. They wanted to continue locally. Let's say the 3+0. So will they be joining the final year when they go to the 3+0, or they have to study 2 years?
They will not get to, they won't have that many exemptions, because American program, they have only completed, remember, they only completed 2 years. Okay, they got completed 2 years. And for them to transfer to, say, an Australian pathway, they will have to fulfill the requirement of 1 year foundation. So the 2 years from INTI, American program, will actually cover their foundation and also some credit exemptions for their first year. So at the end of the day, the American program students, if they choose to go to the 3+0, they would most likely stay another maybe 2.5 years, usually 2.5 years to complete their undergraduate degree. Yeah. Okay. So just like maybe half a semester, about 1 semester extra than normal.
I think, okay, that's pretty, I mean, good. It's not that they have to start all the way.
No, they don't have to start all over again.
First, and then, you know, or meet all those requirements and everything. So I think that is good. And I think it was a pretty clear presentation, and I think you have covered all the question and answers and area. However, moreover, if we get any queries in between, so yeah, me and I will be always disturbing you, and probably he will disturb you with the questions. So over the time, we get different questions, different feedbacks from parents and students. So we will surely update you with that. And I think in this way, I would like to thank you again for being with us, taking our time. You know, it's Friday, I know. And once again, thank you. So Craig, I give over to you before we end up this session.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for presenting. We always appreciate your presentations. So before we wrap up, I think I will just answer one very, very important question that will be on all students or parents' mind: scholarships. So what scholarships would INTI be able to give out? We will offer anything from 10% to 45% scholarships for the AUP program. But please bear in mind, these scholarships are of a finite amount. It is not constantly available. So it's always on a first come, first serve basis. And the second important point would be, it's a merit based, means your grades play a role in how many percentage of scholarship you will be entitled to. Yes.
All right, Craig, thanks. So it means that the scholarship range is from 10 to 45% is for the whole tuition year or is for the first year? Could you just
first year for the first year of tuition? Yes.
First year of tuition fees. Okay, so everyone, as what Mr. Craig have said, that the scholarship is on merit base and it's first come first serve basis. So whoever who is interested to go for the next intake, we want you to give us your documents ASAP as soon as you get the results. Or I think with the predicted results as well, we can secure you your scholarship.
That's right. You can send your predicted results, correct? Exactly that. You can send your predicted results to us. And what we will do is we will issue you a conditional eligibility while we wait for your actual results. So you can use that. You can also send us the application form and we can use that to secure a scholarship for you so that you're not applying when everyone else is applying and then there might not be enough scholarships available.
Okay, so this is a good opportunity you have given and INTI University have given to all of you, that if you have your predicted results, you can secure your scholarship for American University program and go for it and achieve your American dream, I would say. And not only just with INTI, you will get this scholarship. Once you transfer to the partnered universities in US or Canada, you would get their scholarship there as well. So you are saving and we all know that due to this pandemic and everyone is looking for the best and most affordable option with the high quality of education. So I think this is the very best opportunity for all of you guys who are really wants to achieve your American dream. So please, contact our representative or send us email, contact us on WhatsApp, and send us your documents so we can secure your scholarship and we can process and explain you further on how to progress and achieve your American dreams. I think with that, once again, thanks everyone for being with us and watching us over the whole time. And then we will be also coming up again within few months time again within the university for various faculty and various discussion on especially studying in INTI University. Thanks again, Ms. Terry. Thanks everyone. Thanks, Mr. Craig, for being with us on your weekend.
Very much welcome.
I hope you are doing well, all of you guys. And once again, thank you so much. And I think with this, I will end this session. And please stay tuned with our next upcoming session. And please follow us for the updates with all of the universities, especially with INTI University. And once again, thank you.